Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here with February's Mix It Up Monday, a hop started by Anna with Peacecraft Love and Kimberly with I'd Rather Be Scrapbooking. And today we have this sketch by Rochelle Spears and it is a fun sketch. And I have these three pictures that are the exact same direction and size of the ones in the sketch. Super exciting. I am going to be bringing in some mixed media to mix things up a little bit, and a stencil, as well as a bunch of Easter bits and pieces. If you were at all interested in Halloween bits and pieces, I did that yesterday for Scrap Lift Afternoon, and then I dug into the Easter for all these random embellishments. Definitely not as much as Halloween, but I have two whole papers that I'm going to use a little bit of, and these are by Moxie. No clue where I got them, how long I've had them. They look a little old, but we're going to get some of that used. And I'm going to use my as much of the paper and embellishments as I can. I'm going to get some mixed media on the page, which makes me super happy, with some splatters and some paste and a stencil. So I got my papers, my embellishments, my mixed media, my pictures, and this really cool sketch. So let's see how this goes. So I start with just a solid white 12 by 12 cardstock, and I'm going to splatter the picked raspberry and the tumbled glass, and they're both Distress Oxides by Tim Holtz. Why, I just lost his name for a second. And then this is Prima Art Extravagance Icing Paste in Amethyst Magic. And I love it. It's shiny. It's beautiful. I put it through this floral stencil, and I'm really just making myself a background paper for my pictures. I'm leaving the larger picture that is 4x6 with the white mat around it, and then I'm just going to lay it on top of this once it dries a little bit. And then I made just an extra little scrap of white paper because I was thinking I might end up matting one of the smaller pictures with it as well. So, and then I'm going to cut these for the little banners that are coming out the right and left of the picture cluster. So I just cut the larger, or this one is 3 inches, and then this little wiggly, squiggly, scalloped one I'm cutting as 2.5 inches. And then I am going to fishtail those. So I like to fishtail one side, and when the paper is thin like this, and not like a cardstock that'll get that bend in the middle, I just fold it over a little bit and cut the other side so that they are pretty even. Other than that, it would end up looking absolutely wonky, and that's just how I roll. Wonky is what I live by. So this is the concept, and then I am going to mat both of my pictures in the same papers. The one that will actually be overlapping that yellow, I am going to end up using a piece of that white cardstock that has the paste on it. I'm going to get my words out here in a second. So I'm just kind of tucking things in to see what I like and what I want and things I might use while I was waiting for the paste to dry. Is it 100% dry? Not 100%, but it's pretty close. Like touching it, I did not get it on my fingers. I just, instead of trimming the paper like I would with my trimmer, I use my tacky glue scissors, or my tacky scissors. I am going to take this embellishment here. This is actually also from Moxie. And the collection, those two papers that I used are from the Easter Whimsy. I don't know how old it is. There's no date on the paper. And you can see how much I've used. So I put it back in my container with the rest of my Easter stuff I could use on another layout when I don't have a lot of Easter pictures. We're usually at the beach on Easter because it falls on spring break a lot. And so I don't have a ton, but I'm hoping to have enough to where I can at least use up the last bits and pieces of my Easter stash. I was going to use that Easter basket, but that one was too big and it was going to come up into the picture too far. So I don't want to do that. This other set of stickers, they're all pretty much from the same thing, like these circular ones and the Easter egg I'm going to pull out. And maybe a couple other little things like the little flowers that I'm going to tuck in. All came from the same sticker sheet. And I used to have a binder that had my stickers in it. And it had like the crop and style binders that had the little pockets. So I think at one point I cut all of them off of the big sheet because they wouldn't fit, and I tucked them in there. And so that's why I have no clue what the brand is, because I didn't used to care. I just needed to store it, and so I would do that. So anyway, I tuck all of those little bits and pieces in. I'm just trying to make as many, clusters as I can. I do want to use these cute little Easter baskets that are die cuts that I ordered on eBay. So I'd say 2007, 2008, because I haven't ordered in from eBay in a long time. So yeah. I am using this thread, and I'm not stitching, so, but I am using it as where the little doodly drawing is at the bottom. I decided to use that, and I took my Nuvo Deluxe and just made a little squiggly line, and then took the embroidery thread around till it followed that little curly line. And then I do have a little bit extra that came off of the thread, so I'm going to just wad it up and do the little nest, and I'm going to tuck it behind a flare from the Flare Hut and put that over here to finish this little cluster off. And then I'm also going to come in a little bit and add 2 more of those, because I like on the sketch, I think you can tell there's like 2 little buttons down there, kind of where where I've got my thread. And instead of doing that, although I do have plenty of buttons I probably could have dug out in colors that would work, I decided I would just add a couple more flare bits into those little curves of the thread. So, but right now I'm going to tuck some jelly beans in my little Easter basket, and I've got these cute little they're like little sticks with a bunny rabbit on it. It says candy, and one of them I tuck in the Easter basket. One of them I kind of put next to it, and they're really, really cute. And I love that they add a little dimension to the page. And since I'm going to have flare on here, they're not going to be any more dimensional than the flare. And then I add these little pink hearts in 3 different places to bring all of that together with that little triangle of embellishments. And I have 3 clusters. I do end up bringing in a little tag up at the top by that other pink flower on the right that I'm going to use for the date, which I almost forgot to write down when I was putting the pictures together. But I've been writing things down on my sketches that I've been printing, so that if I do that, if I accidentally put the pictures down and don't remember, I have it on my sketch or in a notepad that I've got. So I pulled this Tombow pen out, and I was checking to see if I like the color on another piece of paper, actually on the sketch. And there's like a little hole in it, and I went ahead and took a hole that was in another tag and filled that in, and then I'm going to cover that with this cute little jelly bean and a bunny rabbit. So I just thought that looked kind of cute, and it was filling that little space. It's got the date on here now, and I may journal later, I'm not sure. But here is the sketch. Like I said, it is by Rochelle Spears, and it is a fun sketch. I love doing these multi-pictures where there's some smaller pictures on here, and it just so happened that I had exactly what I needed in my 2014 bin, not set aside for a sketch for February or March yet. So yay for that. And that is it. I've written the date, like I said, right here in the little tag. And I love the little pop of that purple and all the pinks and yellows. It makes me happy. So I hope you'll go below to the playlist and hop along and watch all of the people who are following along with Mix It Up Monday. And if you have any questions, let me know. I would love to hear from you. I would love it if you give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you have a great day. I hope you get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love. And happy scrapping.